Isla Mujeres is a tourist trap.
Today we are going to tell you why we believe that Isla Mujeres is a tourist trap, and we're going to show you where you should probably be going instead. Welcome back to our channel. We are Charlie and Larry, digital nomads currently traveling through Mexico. We've been to Tulum, we've been to Isla Mujeres, Isla Holbox, Playa del Carmen. So we are going to share with you our experience specifically in Isla Mujeres today. This is not to say that you should never visit Isla Mujeres, but we want to share our experience and tips with you and also show you a better option if you only have time to go to one island in Mexico. All right, so let's talk about why we believe Isla Mujeres is a tourist trap.
I would say that because Isla Mujeres is so close to Cancun and the international airport, I would say that it receives a high number of American tourists. And you can feel how the services that are offered on this island are specifically geared towards specifically Americans.
And also, I mean, I'm from Germany, so we and you have traveled through Europe a lot. So
Yes.
there seems to be a difference in how tourist places gear toward Americans versus the rest of the world. Because, and I don't know if that comes because Americans have a very short amount of time, they don't have a lot of days off work, right?
Yeah.
And maybe Americans are more willing to spend a lot more money for...
I would definitely say Americans are a lot more willing to spend more money on their vacation than most other nationalities.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'm American. I'm gonna say that is true. Americans are more willing to, they tip more, right? So Americans generally will tip a lot more than Europeans or other nationalities. And you can tell the attitude, and a lot of the tourist destinations in Mexico, they kind of expect that.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why we're talking about it, because in Isla Mujeres specifically, the services, the people that were working there, they had kind of this attitude of, well, take it or leave it. Yeah, we know this is super expensive and you're not getting a great experience, but that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So, and it felt like they did this because it's okay, a lot of Americans are coming here and they only have one day or they only have a couple of hours. So it is really take it or leave it.
So let's give an example, right? So here's an example of what happened, right? So we go to the beach area, right? And there's a lot of golf carts everywhere and scooters. So as you're walking through the streets, they will say things like hourly rental.
Golf cart.
Yeah, for an hour. Like that's such a short amount of time. Like, where are you going for 1 hour?
Why would you need to rent a scooter? Or no, it was more about the golf cart. Why would you need to rent a golf cart for just an hour? Well, because people come here for just a couple of hours as a day trip. And also we felt that it was very geared towards social media as well. Because it's just people just rent the golf cart and just
take a video of it and then post it onto their stories or their Instagram feeds or whatever, YouTube, whatever, right?
But here's the thing, how much was that 1 hour of a golf cart?
I want to say $60. How much was it? Just say it was really expensive.
So in particular, we obviously need a mode of transportation, right? We actually stayed in Isla Mujeres for 3 nights and we needed a mode of transportation. So we're trying to see what we can get, and we were approaching these people and they were always trying to sell us the golf cart, and for 1 hour they were charging around $50 to $60 US, exactly. And it's that's more expensive than any car we've ever rented before.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's take it or leave it. So
yeah, and then even the quality, right, of these items, of the scooters or the golf carts, is a lot of it was just, it's because they're
falling apart.
Yeah, it's falling apart, and a lot of it was because it's a hourly rental, right? If there's something wrong, you actually don't even have enough time to make a complaint about it, because you are only there most likely just for a couple of hours, or it felt like the primary audience was only there for just a couple of hours.
Yeah. And that you really felt that in the way of how service was offered on the island.
Exactly. So then when we ended up renting a scooter for I think 600 pesos a night, or
Yeah,
per,
which
per
was
day.
600 pesos. That was double than what we're paying right now in Tulum.
More than double.
So,
Even when we got that scooter, there was something wrong with it, right? Like the wheel was like wobbling.
It was wobbling.
The wheel,
yeah.
it felt like the wheel was gonna fall off while we were
Yeah,
driving, so we
it
had
was
to take
very
it back the next
dangerous.
day, the next morning.
Yeah, when we went to exchange the scooter, they were like, "Well, what's the problem?"
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Like-
this whole attitude, like, why are you complaining about
Yeah,
this?
like, oh, you're so annoying.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, like, this is really dangerous. Like, we felt the whole scooter like wobbling.
yeah,
And
I couldn't
it's-
control it. It felt like it was driving in one direction.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, what's the problem? They reluctantly changed the scooter for us.
Yeah. So then we got a new scooter.
We got a new scooter together. So then we drive home with the new scooter. And the new scooter, they gave some new helmets with that as well. And when we got home, we realized that there's mold on the helmet.
Yeah,
So-
on the straps.
Yeah.
And,
And it was so frustrating because we're like, oh, now we have to go back again
Yeah.
and exchange it again. And it's like, and mold is a serious health concern
Yeah.
too. So
and it's on your face now.
it's,
Like,
it's on our face now, exactly. Yeah.
returned the scooter, and then
Return
again.
the helmet.
Oh yeah, we went back. I went back. You stayed in the hotel, and I went back, and then again it was just like this attitude of,
Why are you complaining?
why are you complaining?
What's the problem?
You know, and it's just like, and it's not cheap, right? Like, and in my opinion, like we said, they're charging way more money, and they're giving you way less value,
Yeah.
right? Like, it just felt like how I felt in Isla Mujeres is just like, give me your money and shut up. Like, that's really how I felt. I really felt like it was like, and they had that attitude of like, just give me your money, shut up. We're not fixing anything. Like, even the scooters, like, it had cracks in it, and it had, it just did not look good, you
Yeah.
know. And it just felt like, how do we maximize how much money we make here and give you the absolute least?
Yeah, don't maintain the things. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that way, I would say, like, it really felt like a tourist trap. It felt like it's geared towards people that spend a short amount of time there. So people that are going there for a longer period of time, I'm not really sure if this was like such an amazing experience.
I mean,
There is some really nice areas there. Like I really like this pedestrian street.
Yeah.
That was really, really nice.
Yeah, I mean, we always make the best of our time wherever we go. We always have fun, and we had fun in Isla Mujeres too, and we enjoyed it. And like I said earlier, like, this is not to say that you should never go to Isla Mujeres. If you want to go, definitely go. But we just want to share like how we felt when we were there, and also share with you later which island you should consider if you only want to go to one island. But yeah, I mean, there are people and even expats who live in Isla Mujeres for long periods of time, and I know maybe they can comment below and give some tips on how to enjoy Isla Mujeres more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it's
Something to keep in mind.
yeah, it's just something to keep in mind, and we're just sharing our experience.
Yeah.
So that was the experience when it comes to like the way that we felt surrounding like these scooter and transportation rentals. We also did inquire with one other scooter, and we were saying, and they literally, like, remember we inquired about a golf cart with one of these people, and they were like, yeah, well, bye.
Yeah.
Like that, he set the price, and we were like, well, what if we rent it for a couple of days? Like, is there going to be a better price? And he was just like, bye.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, super rude. Honestly, like
So rude.
Like, and it's so many different businesses there. They just have this attitude of, like, you can tell they're making money. They're making really good money, because I feel like you can only have this attitude when you are making really good money. So I think that the Americans going there are definitely putting money in these businesses' pockets.
Yeah, which is great. It's amazing for them, but like just make sure that you're offering a safe experience.
Yeah.
Which, in our case, they did not offer a safe experience. Like, and they acted like we were the problem. Like we're delusional for wanting a scooter that actually works.
Yeah. It's just easier to just take care of somebody that's willing to pay $50 to $60 for just 1 hour than to deal with somebody that is going to have the scooter or the cart for 24 hours and only paying $90, right? Like the turnover rate for hourly customers is much higher than somebody that is renting it for 24 hours and coming back to you about the problems that their stuff has.
So the second thing to consider is the beach area. So Isla Mujeres is supposed to have one of the world's most beautiful beach, and we got there and we were like,
who judges this stuff?
Yeah. Like we did not understand that at all. We felt like it was super crowded, and by the way, actually we probably should have said this in the beginning of the video. We went to Isla Mujeres in the off season during hurricane season. So this is the time when it's supposed to be less touristy, and still it was very like
crowded,
much for us. Like personally, we enjoy places that are calm, that are not like that are more traveler oriented versus tourist oriented.
Exactly.
And we enjoy like not being in places that are super crowded. So in Isla Mujeres, that was the only place in Mexico where we felt like, okay, this is getting too much right now. Sensory overload.
Yeah, and I think honestly that's a very good point that you just made. Isla Mujeres feels like it's more for tourists and it's not actually for travelers. And that is how it feels when you go there. It's geared towards very short-term tourists rather than actual travelers.
Yeah.
And we are travelers. Yes, technically we're also tourists in some of the places that we go, but we like to travel like travelers and not tourists.
And with that being said, like even though we were there during the off season, during the low tourist season, during the rainy season, the beach was very crowded. Like it was the most crowded beach that we've been to in Mexico. And I can't honestly imagine how it is during high season. Like, the beach was very small as well.
Yeah, it wasn't that big, honestly. Like, I mean, the island it's a pretty decent size, but the actual beach area and public beach area or the beach zone area is not that big, honestly. So when you get onto the island, it's like towards your left, that's it. Like that's pretty much it. And it's not that big. So it was crowded during low season, so during high season, the thing is probably packed out.
Then we also did a snorkeling trip, which I had such a hard time deciding if we should do it or not, and I felt like I really wanted to do it because they have the MUSA, which is like an underwater museum. They have that right outside of, or right in front of Isla Mujeres, and then they also have another reef that is supposed to be very, very nice. So they supposed to have a lot of nice snorkeling, and I had a really hard time deciding if we should do it or not because there was a storm that was there like 4 days earlier. The water was very rough actually, like, which also is maybe a reason why the beach wasn't as beautiful as it could be, right? But yeah, anyway, we ended up doing the snorkeling tour and did not have a great experience. It was the same thing, kind of like where, you know, you're paying for something and you're just getting the bare minimum because, you know, take it or leave it kind of situation. So like we were an hour delayed.
Yeah, we were an hour delayed, and then
which is crazy because if people only come there for a day trip, like you are counting on not sitting around and trying to wait for a trip. And we also made sure we asked them several times, like, look, please don't lie to me. Don't waste my time. Like, am I going to be able to see something when I snorkel or not? Like, is the water, is there no visibility? How is it looking? And they were like, no, it's really great. It's perfect visibility. You're going to see everything. Yeah, we were like an hour delayed. And then we went out, and the first snorkeling site, we saw nothing.
Yeah, so there was multiple sites, right? So there was multiple stopping points. And then the first spot that they left us. They
They actually didn't leave us. Like
So
they dropped us in the water and they left.
yeah, and I'm like, where did the boat go?
Yeah.
And that's the first time that ever happened, right? like we've done snorkeling trips multiple times, and usually the boat is always nearby.
Visible, yeah.
But this boat left, and they went to go pick up other people, apparently.
Yeah. And you actually had a hard time.
Yeah.
Like you actually lost your snorkel and everything.
I did, right? I did. I lost it. I lost the snorkel.
We did have a water.
But it wasn't a life jacket, right?
No,
it was
just
like
the water belt, like a life jacket belt. And it was actually quite rough, the water.
Yeah.
And you had a hard time, and you were like, I want to go back, because we couldn't see anything anyway.
yeah. So it's like
yeah, so
wasting my motion sickness energy.
and they did not speak English. So
Yeah.
by the time that we got back onto the boat, I asked them, like, look, please be 100% honest with me. Like, I'm not gonna ask for a refund, but I don't want to waste my time. So, like, tell me, will we see the museum over there or not? Because
Yeah.
if we're not gonna see anything, then you can drop me off right now. I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna ask for a refund. I just don't want to waste my time.
Yeah.
So, like, some people translated that for me, and then they were like, no, we're gonna see everything. It's gonna be great. Because, you know, the museum is on the other side and whatever. But yeah, by that time, Larry already lost the snorkel. So you didn't go in on the second location.
No.
But there was so much miscommunication with them because they didn't speak English. So I actually understood that we're going to 5 different locations, but it ended up only being 3 different locations. And the second location was the nice reef, and I went in, you didn't go in. That location was actually really nice, and I could see some things. I could see like fish. Yeah, we do actually have a full video vlog of our time in Isla Mujeres. So if you want to see what we did and how that was, you can watch this video up here. The third stop on this tour, the museum, you couldn't really see the museum.
No.
Like on a very clear day, if the water is very still, you can probably see the museum, the underwater museum, when you snorkel, but you should probably be doing actual diving.
The distance between where the actual statues are and the snorkeling sea level, I guess, the sea level of where you are is quite a far distance. So
Yeah.
it's like you're looking at it from a distance. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it, I would probably say do the scuba diving. And on top of that, what I would say is that the water is kind of dark. It's not like crystal clear. Like, it's quite dark. It's more of a darker blue. So it's not like crystal clear turquoise. I would say that you probably need to go during direct sunlight. Not necessarily just in the morning. You need to go probably at like when the sun shines directly into the water. That's probably what I would say as well. Yeah, I think that honestly, like it just feels like what it feels like is just give me your money. If you don't like it, shut up. Like, we don't care if you leave a bad review. Like, that's the attitude that a lot of them had, and even, you know, they didn't really speak English too much, so it's like they didn't really care, you know. They made sure to say the important things like propina, which means tips in English. So, yeah.
All right, so again, we're not saying that you should never be going to Isla Mujeres. We're just like sharing our experience, and we actually in the very beginning were trying to decide if we should go to Isla Mujeres or if we should go to Isla Holbox instead. And we were having a hard time trying to decide on that, and we actually in the end decided that we're just going to go to both because we wanted to really explore both. And I'm glad that we did, because after having been on both islands, I was to decide if I should go to Isla Holbox or Isla Mujeres. I would choose Isla Holbox.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and I would suggest that you check out Isla Holbox and see if that might be an option for you. I think it is an island that is further away from Cancun, so it is a 2.5-hour drive and then a ferry ride to Isla Holbox, but it is super worth it. Isla Mujeres is super chill and very local and, you know, not touristy at all, very
Yeah.
geared toward travelers, very relaxed. And we do have a full video on Isla Mujeres here. We were a little bit unlucky when we went because there was a hurricane that passed through and we didn't get like the full Isla Mujeres experience, but we are definitely going back to Isla Mujeres
Yes.
during the sunny season. So outside of the rainy season, we're gonna be back because Isla Mujeres is amazing.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, so what did we like about Isla Mujeres? So I would say that what I really liked about Isla Mujeres is the pedestrian street. Honestly, it is really, really amazing. They have all types of restaurants there, Italian, Mexican. It was quite affordable, I would say, as well. So surprisingly, because of like all of the cost of transportation, scooters and the golf carts, I was a little bit nervous about how much is this food gonna cost if this is what they're charging for scooters. But no, the food was actually very reasonably priced. It might be because a lot of the tourists that come into the island are coming from all-inclusive places, so they don't really, and they're only there for a day, so maybe they have to make it competitively priced. That's my belief, but in my opinion, it is very reasonably priced, surprisingly. So the food there is amazing. We love sitting on pedestrian streets that do not have any type of cars, so it's just really nice, honestly. We went there like every night that we were there, so I absolutely love this pedestrian street. I'll put the name at the bottom. That's what I liked about Isla Mujeres, was this pedestrian street.
And we went to Cafe Mango, which was really nice too.
Yeah, Cafe Mango was really nice.
breakfast.
Honestly, they do have, I would say that they have a lot of nice restaurants there, and that are all reasonably priced. Drinks are super reasonably priced. Beers are like super cheap.
Plus, we did do a excursion on Isla Mujeres, which was going to Isla Contoy, which was actually very nice as well. Isla Contoy is a natural reserve. It's a kind of a private island because there's no hotels there, nothing. We took a day trip there and spent a couple of hours in Isla Contoy, which was amazing. You can also do this trip from Cancun directly though, and then you would go and spend, I think, an hour on Isla Mujeres, and then they take you to Isla Contoy. So
yeah, we also have a video on that, so make sure you check that out. Guys, we really hope that you really liked this video and you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel to see all of our honest reviews and travel experiences. Until then, we will see you next time. See ya.
Adios.